Hi guys, it's me. As you may or may not be aware, last week I did my interview, and so even though we are now at week 21 since I applied, we're back to week 1 of waiting. It's been about a week and a half. The interview was last Wednesday and it's now Friday, so it's been 9 days. I thought I'd just give you guys a little bit of a sit-down recap of that because I tried my best to vlog the whole thing for you, but there were things that I missed. If you don't particularly want to watch this video, I did do an entire recap in my blog post, so I'll link that somewhere. You can go and read instead of watching. What happened on the day was I woke up, I did my makeup, my hair at around 8:15. We were a little bit behind schedule. My mum drove me to the station. I took the train from the station to Melbourne Central, where I jumped off, walked over to RMIT. I went down to Pearson Murphy and waited for my comrades. And eventually Beck, my lovely friend from South Australia, who I met through the Facebook group, arrived. We found each other, we headed into the cafe, then we waited a bit longer. We were expecting 4 more people. 2 of them I think decided that they would just go straight to the lecture theatre where we were having our presentation. 2 of the girls from the Facebook group, Nicola and Lauren, decided to come and meet with us. At 10 we wandered over to building 12. Because I'd already gone and worked out where the presentation was going to be and where the interview was going to be, we just went straight there. We met some lovely people, and then eventually they let us in. We all sat down and we had the presentation, and the presentation is just them going over everything you should already know, pretty much. Just how much you'll get paid, what the housing complexes are like, where you'll be working, all kinds of stuff. During the presentation they had a few trivia questions. A lot of them were quite easy. They had name the 4 parks, name the 4 Disney cruise ships, which company did they most recently acquire, and how many employees they have at Disney World and how many resorts they have resort hotels they have at Disney World. I answered the easiest question, not because I didn't know the others, but because I had my hand up first for that one. I really wanted a luggage tag. And so I answered the name the parks question, and I earned myself this cute Disney International Programs luggage tag. So hopefully I get to use it. So then they just kept going over wages and what you needed to do if you accept an offer, how much it would cost, all that kind of stuff. And then the interviews started. The presentation ended at around 12. They also, before you went in, they asked you for photo ID. So you had to write down your name, your school, and I think that was it, just your name and your school. And they asked you your interview time as well, and you showed them your photo ID so that they check your name against your face, and then you got to go sit down. Walked over to building 13 because I also knew where the interview room was. We dropped off Nicola, who had her interview in the 12:30 to 1:30 time slot. So then me, Beck and Lauren went and got some lunch at Melbourne Central. Lauren had to leave because she was in the 1:30 to 2:30 slot, and because we'd already taken her to see the room, she knew exactly where she was going, so she just popped over there. She then sent us a message on Facebook saying that Nicola and another girl from the 12:30 slot still hadn't gone in yet. They were running a little bit behind because apparently they couldn't get into that room straight away either. There were people in there when we went and had a look, and then apparently those people left, and then they couldn't get the door to open. Definitely be prepared for the interviews to be either running early or running late. They're never exactly on time. So just make sure you're there. In the presentation, they'll tell you around about how early you need to be. They told us half an hour. So, but then they ended up being behind because of the door. So they'll tell you in the presentation how early they think you need to be. Try and be there around that time because they do pull you guys in alphabetical order, I've been told. So especially if your name is Aaron Alkinson, make sure that you're there as early as you can be. Lauren left, me and Beck were still eating lunch. We did a bit of window shopping. We headed off. I had set an alarm because we were in the 2:30 to 3:30 slot. I set an alarm for 1:50 and then 1:50 rolled around, so we had to dash off. When we got there, Lauren was still waiting with two other girls who were waiting there as well. Actually, no, there were 3 or 4 other girls there actually. So we had a bit of a chat. We asked everyone if they'd joined the Facebook group, and then yeah, we talked about how everyone was doing, and then they did, the 2 girls left who were waiting for the 1:30 time slot, and then they pulled in Beck because she is top of the list when it comes to alphabetical order. So she went first and she came out. She took about, I'd say about 10 minutes. I spoke to her about how she thought she went. She wasn't particularly happy, and then they called my name. I went in, I did my interview. I was answering questions in rapid fire. It's such a nerve-wracking experience being in there because you have no sense of time. I recommended wearing a watch, and I did wear a watch, but not once did I have a free second to actually check how long I'd been in there. I felt like it had been 5 minutes, and to be honest, my brain was just freaking out. About maybe 3 minutes in, I realized, oh no, I'm not looking at her, I'm looking at her computer, and so I had to force myself to look up at her. I was smiling, but I had to force myself to look up at her and make sure that I was looking her in the eye. And then after maybe like 3 minutes of that, I was like, oh no, am I looking her in the eye too much? Is this creepy? And then I had to look away at the window and then look back at her, and every like maybe 30-40 seconds I had to actively like, oh, I'm gonna look over here now, I'm gonna look back at you, I'm gonna keep talking and nodding, and I'm gonna look over here, and it was just the most mental experience of my life, really. After the interview was done, I went outside with Beck. We chatted a little bit about what we thought we'd done wrong, and I walked Beck down to the station when she was done, and then I met up with my friend Catherine. I hope that you guys found my interview preparation and interview videos helpful. I wish you luck if you have your own interviews to go to soon, and wish me luck, because Judgment Day is upon us. Thanks for coming with me. Thanks for joining me on my journey, if it does happen to end anytime soon, and if it doesn't, then welcome to the beginning. I'll see you guys next time.